see if I can locate my own live stream on Facebook. Of course I can't. That's fine. I don't need to see myself do anything. Do I? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe? There we are. Let's see if I can see it there. Oh, I'm sideways, like this. Can you turn the camera? Because it's not doing it the other way. Hi guys. Okay. So hopefully that. Hi, Megan. Sorry for the sound of our camera turning, and my delay is like super, super behind, so I'm working blind, but that's okay. I'm always working blind in some way. So we'll just wait. Oh, looks like it's, there we go. Oh. Let's see, who do we have? Hey, Barb. Hey, Debbie. What do you think about all this? Oh, the Buckleys are here. Yay. Oh, I'm sorry, I got excited. That was wrong with me. Okay, so.
Almost there.
Almost there? Oh, the Buckleys are here. Hey. Oh, is that Liz? All right, I think we're good. I think we're gonna start. I'm going to turn off the sound on my laptop because I can't stand the sound of my voice. I don't know how you guys deal with it. So we're gonna, hi guys, welcome to a live stream video. Not my favorite way to interact with you. My favorite way is to be like all up in your face and in love with you in person, but I have to be in love with you from afar here. So I hope you guys are having a really good time at home, doing fun stuff, and if there's any children with you, hi kids, and if you're really little, hi kids. My dog's gonna be running around probably a little bit until he's sick of everything, see? So we're gonna go ahead and start the same exact way that we always do, and that is on our bellies. So letting our bodies rest on the floor, letting your belly rest on the floor, maybe wiggling your butt a little bit so that your hips kind of release, and then letting your forehead either rest on both arms or on your hands, or however that feels best for you. We want something under the forehead, and if you're like me and you have a rather sizable nose, it doesn't make sense to just put your forehead straight on the ground. So once you're on the ground, start to take your deep breaths. Your inhales, the belly expands. And your exhales, the belly contracts. Just a little bit here. So deep breath in and deep breath out. Just really letting your body settle into your own floor, into your own space. Trying to stay within that soft, gentle breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your legs apart, about mat distance apart. You're going to bend both your knees and start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side so that both legs go from one direction and then cross center to the other, and just rocking from side to side. You might notice that as your legs move to the left, your right hip comes up, and as your legs move to the right, your left hip comes up. That's totally cool. We actually want a little bit of movement here. We don't want those pelvises stuck in place. We want them to rock a little bit, get into that lower back. Oh, hi Candace, you just popped up on my feed. One more time, side to side. Just kind of rock it out here, and I mean that, rock it out. And then we're going to come right back into center. Extend your legs. Your knees are going to be about as wide as your mat here. So we're going to press the hands into the floor, push up, take the big toe mounds of the feet together. The knees are going to stay wide. And we're going to shift back into a child's pose. So the body's going to stretch back. The hips are going to come back towards the heels. You can take your fingertips to the floor for a moment and just give yourself a little bit more stretch in the upper back, just for a moment here. Notice I don't have my head on the ground just yet because I really want to get that length in my lower back, in my hips. I don't want to bring my head down and have my butt come up. I want it to reach back. And then from this position, maybe my head comes a little closer to the floor. Now let's walk over to the right. And we all know that I'm really good with my right and my left. So let's just guess that this is the right. Stretching it all the way over to the right. Push away through your left fingertips, reach back through your left buttock. Get as much space into that left side of your body here as you can. And then walk all the way through center. And then all the way over to the left. And it's the same thing here. So as you reach through your left, or excuse me, as you reach through your right, push your right hip back nice and far. Get a big opening in that right side of your body. See if you can feel that stretch in your ribs, if you can breathe deep into that right lung. And then come right back through center. Again, a big stretch coming into that child's pose. Again, maybe the hips need to be down a little more so we can elevate. Nice big stretches here. And then nice and slow, let's roll forward into hands and knees. So your knees come underneath your hips and your hands come underneath of your shoulders. And we're going to go ahead and start to take some cat-cows. So if you've never done yoga with me before, know that every yoga class that I teach, except for chair, and even then we have some variations of this, start exactly the same way. It always starts with these couple postures. Just a moment to center yourself on the ground, to breathe. Some slow movements in the lower back. And then moving into this nice little cat-cow sequence. And then, oops, sorry. One more breath like this. And then nice and slow, we're going to go ahead and bring our right leg back. Press through the right heel, stretch through the top of the front head or the far head, top of the head. And then from here, lift that right leg up. Send that left arm by your left ear. Exhale, take that left elbow to the right knee, round your spine. Inhale, extend the right leg, reach that left arm forward. Exhale, round and pull in. Inhale, reach and lengthen. You've probably done this a million times in every yoga class, right? One more. Pull it in. And lengthen. Beautiful. Take that right knee down, left hand down. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So this time you get to lift that right hand off the ground, that left leg back. Rotate your wrist if you need to. And then exhale. Pull it in. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach it forward. We got about 3 more. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. Exhale. And inhale, big stretch. And then exhale, everything back down. Move through your cat-cow again. Nice and slow. Your inhale brings your belly down, chest lifts, hips lift. Exhale, rounds your spine. 1 more. Nice. Let's go ahead and add a little extra. So inhale, belly expands, top of the head comes up, and then as you exhale, pull that belly button to your spine again, roll back and come into a child's pose. And then as you inhale, roll forward, belly down, chest lifts, hips lift. Exhale, round and come back. Nice. Inhale, reach it forward. And then exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Take it all the way into that child's pose. Stretch back. Reach your arms forward a little bit more. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Let your elbows rest. Let your head rest. And then let's take it straight into down dog, okay? So you're going to tuck your toes. If you've never done yoga before, just kind of hang out here. Figure out what you want to do. This is also the many times you'll see me adjust my clothing. Lift your knees off the ground. Push your hips back. Think of this almost like you're going to jump forward. You're not today, but for right now. And then stretch your buttocks up to the sky. Notice my knees are still pretty bent here. I want to get my lower back nice and long. I really want to push up and back here. Good. Big deep breaths. Really stretch. Pull your belly button to your spine. And then from here, let's go ahead and just lower the right heel towards the floor. And then we're going to bend that right knee. Reach it back in. And then bend that, straighten that left leg to the floor. And then bend. 1 more time on each side like that. Just stretch it back. Find those hamstrings. And stretch it back. And then you can just start to walk in place. While you're here, look at your feet. See if you can take your feet about hip distance apart. 3 to 5 inches apart. If it's a little bit easier, take it further apart. Not all the way to mat distance, but just a little wider. Sometimes we need that length. 1 more breath here. Wonderful. And then from this position, we're going to just start to walk our feet all the way forward. So tiny baby steps, take it up. Get as close to your hands as you want to. Push into those hands. Once you're towards the front of your mat, bend your knees a little bit more. Let your body hang over your thighs. Let your head hang. Relax the top of your head. Soften your neck, your jaw, your throat. And then from here, we're going to come all the way up to standing. So you're going to push through your feet. Rise all the way up. Reach your arms overhead. I'm under the impression you can't see my hands up here, but that's okay. Press through your feet. Push up through those fingertips. So we're reaching and pushing. One thing's going down as the opposite's going up. That whole dualism of yoga. We do 2 things at once in yoga. Go ahead and grab hold of your wrist with your opposite hand. So whatever way you want to go here is fine. I'm going to lean to my right. So I'm pulling on my left wrist. And then come right back into center. Take it to the other side. Same thing. You can look past your arm if you want to. Inhale, come right back into center. Reach your arms up to the sky. Draw the shoulders down. And then exhale, lower your arms down. Coming into mountain pose, the feet face forward. The clothes get adjusted again. And the arms rest down by your sides. Palms can face forward too here to kind of open up the chest, find that expressive tone. And if your kids right now, just kind of stand in place, you're good. Then from this position, we're going to keep the right hand on the right hip, and we're going to lift this left arm up. Slide down the right side body, start to reach over to the right. Let that left arm stay in line with your left ear. And then come right back up. Lower that left hand down with an exhale. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, slide down that left leg. Try not to move the hip forward, keep the hips stacked. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, both arms come up again. Exhale, both hands come down to the floor. So notice here that I'm going to bend my knees again. I'm not going to expect myself to go straight into a forward fold with my legs straight. The knees are going to be slightly bent. And let the head hang, shake out our heads. And then on an inhale, I'm going to place my hands onto my shins, roll my shoulders back, take myself up halfway. So now my legs can straighten a little bit. I don't want to push all my weight into my heels, nor do I want to put all my weight into my toes. And then exhale, forward fold again. This next inhale, the right leg's going to come back. So I'm going to step this right leg back, come into a lunge. Push back through my right heel, left knee over top of my ankle. Big, strong step here. So I'm really pushing back through that right heel. And now from here, I'm going to lower my right knee down to the ground. And if you want to, you can place a blanket or a pillow under your knee because the floor might not be as forgiving as you expect it to be. Untuck your toes. Left knee's going to come over the ankle, and we're going to place one hand and then the other onto the thigh. Roll the shoulder blades back. Let the arms hang. If you're not happy here, if this isn't comfortable for you, and it might not be, or if you're having a hard time with balance, try putting blocks under your hands, or just keeping your hands on the floor. Just keeping this left knee over the ankle. We don't want to go past the ankle. Sweep the arms up. Shoulders down. Push down through your left big toe. Move your right hip forward. Interlace your fingers above your head. And let's come into a little back bend, just a little one. So we're going to lift the center of the chest. Bring the head back just a bit. And then we'll exhale and bring it all the way back down. Hands come down to the floor. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. We're going to exhale and pull that right knee forward. So strong step to a forward fold. Maybe the legs are a little straighter now. Maybe we still keep them bent. That's okay. Shake out your head. There's nothing to see on the floor here. Think that you're going to take the top of your head to the ground. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg comes back. So the left leg steps back really far behind you. We're going to find that nice strong lunge to start. You're going to push that left heel back, right knee over your ankle, and then lower that left knee right down to the floor, maybe onto that blanket if you're using it. And then from here, hands to the thigh. Let the shoulders draw back, maybe let the hands hang. Again, we don't want that right knee going too far past our ankle. We want it almost right above the ankle, so adjust it as needed. And then from here, let's inhale, reach the arms up. Big, nice stretch in the front of that left thigh. Maybe we clasp the hands and we take it back just a little bit, opening up through the center of the chest. 1 or 2 more breaths. And then take it all the way back down, hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're going to step back into a plank. So the right leg's going to come back. So for those of you who are already hating me because I said the dreaded plank word, don't worry. You can drop your knees straight down to the ground. Keep the core engaged and just hold your plank here. For those of you who are like, yes, planks, finally, well, hold your plank. So breathe here. Make sure you're not in some weird amalgamation of a plank, right? You're in a strong plank. You're a plank on 2 stilts or 4 stilts. Then everybody lower the knees, untuck your toes. And we're going to bend the elbows back towards our ribs, taking the chest down. So we're going to take a nice slow exhale. And then we're going to inhale and lower the pelvis as we lift the chest. And then exhale, tuck the toes, push in, and draw back. You might even draw back from here, or draw back through down dog. Walk the feet in if you need to. Take some slow, deep breaths. Lift the hips. If your heels don't come down, that's not a big deal. It's more important here to keep the spine nice and long than it is to drop your heels, right? So even if you're here, this is going to get you nice and long in your spine. We do a lot for the hamstrings in class. You don't have to make down dog all about your hamstrings. Use blocks if you need to. One more breath. Excellent. We're going to walk our feet forward. So tiny baby steps to get there, all the way to the front of the mat. We're going to come all the way to standing with an inhale. Big deep stretch, arms overhead. Grab a wrist, pull to the opposite direction. Inhale to center. Grab a wrist, pull to the opposite direction. Inhale to center. Exhale, take it all the way down. Try to find firmness in the abdomen. Shift that weight a little forward if you can, so you're not all in your heels, your butt's not pushing towards the back wall. Instead, you're sliding up that wall with your behind. And then inhale, hands to shins, big stretch. Exhale, take it down, nice strong forward fold, whatever that looks like. Shake out your head, bang on the floor, whatever you need to do here. And then let's go ahead and find this right leg again. The right leg's gonna step back. Here we go. Left knee's going to come over the ankle, just like we did before, so we're back in a high lunge. If you want to, for this, you can drop your right knee down, or you can keep the right knee up. We want to be able to have the balance to hold here. So, one hand to the left thigh, the other hand to the left thigh, the right hand adjusting your clothing, push your right heel back, left knee over top of your ankle, right hip draws down in line with the left, chest is even. And then reaching that right arm up, big stretch. And then reaching that left arm up, big stretch. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and pull to the left. Dropping that right hip down just a little bit. Pushing through that right heel just a little bit. Inhale back to center. Exhale, float your hands down. Inhale, step back with your left foot. So here's your plank again. You can lower your knees and you can lower your chest just like we did before, or this time, shift the weight forward, bend the elbows towards your ribs, and then inhale, lift your heart, untuck your toes. Exhale, down dog. Nice. So this is a good time to take breaks if you need them. Water breaks. Any kind of break. Let's find that right leg. Right foot's gonna come forward. You might be able to step it forward one time, or you might have yourself here and need to wrap your arm under your leg, carry. Both of those are fine. Right knee's over your ankle. Remember your modification. Left knee to the floor if you need to. Let's find our balance. Left hand to the thigh. Right hand to the thigh. Core is engaged, shoulders back. Push back through our left heel, arms come up. Nice. Hold here and breathe. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Pull gently to the right. Opening up that left side of your body. Pushing back with your left heel. Big deep breath. You got it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take the hands down. Here we go again. Right leg's gonna come back. Ready? Nice. Knees, chin, chest. Right? So it could be this. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. Pause here in your down dogs. Big deep breath. Let it out. One or two more breaths here. Doing great. All right, so this time we're going to try and carry our left foot forward. So remember, can you come up halfway and you can carry it with your left arm, or step that left foot forward in between your hands. We're again going to come into a high lunge, and this time we have to hold the high lunge because we're transitioning from it. So everybody who usually is here, I want you to lift that back knee. One hand to the front thigh, then the other. Take a moment, find your balance. Push it just a little bit here, okay? Just a little balance. And then we're going to spin this right heel to the mat. The left heel is going to line up with the right instep. The body is going to be nice and in line with the hips. Left knee over the thigh, almost parallel thigh with the floor. Or left knee over the ankle, I should say. And arms come out. Holding here, nice strong back right leg. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Stay with it. Notice how you have a tendency to really want to pound down through those toes. So lift those left toes and let them rest again. Maybe the right toes too. Right hand's going to come to the back leg. Left arm's going to come up. Big stretch. Reach back. And then we're going to take that left elbow and rest on our left thigh. And this right arm's going to come forward and then by the right ear. And then from here, we're going to move that right hip back. Find that big stretch here. You can turn past your armpit if you want to, or your bicep, depending on where your head is. Shoulders down, left hip's long. Beautiful. Back through warrior two. And we're going to straighten that left leg. Turn both feet to face forward. So we're lining up the toes in line with each other. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees just a little bit, shift the hips back, and come into a wide leg forward fold. Let that weight just shift towards the toes a bit as you push the hips up and back. Right? Big stretch, body hinges from the hips. You can bend your knees a little bit here. You can use a little block. If you have a dog, you can put your hands on your dog. You can put your hands on each other because you're in your own space and you're not social distancing from your family. Let's be here for 2 more breaths because this is a nice stretch. Some yoga teachers would call it yummy. I don't like to use those words to describe yoga. But it is kind of yummy. Watch yourself come up. Let's walk those hands forward. So nice, deep, wide leg, down dog. Just stretching those hands forward and pressing those hips up and back. Getting that nice stretch. Finding that slow, deep breath. Letting the head just hang. Even though I know it's nice to look forward to make sure you know what's going on. Don't worry, I promise to tell you when we're transitioning. 1 more breath. Okay, so as you exhale, walk your hands back towards your legs. And then from here, we're going to turn the right foot out. We're going to bend that right knee. And we're going to come all the way up to warrior two. Just kind of hang out here for a moment. Let that right knee be over your ankle. See if you have a little bit wider of a stance here because of that wide leg forward fold you just did. Maybe you could take this wider than you thought you could. Move that left hip back just a little bit as that right knee stays over the ankle. All right, let's flip it up. So the left hand's going to come to the back leg. The right arm's going to come overhead. We're going to take a big stretch. And then we're going to switch. We're going to take that right elbow to that right thigh. Left arm by our left ear. Big stretch on this direction as well. Don't let that right knee roll in. Oh, but it wants to. Keep it back. One more breath. Beautiful. Let's come back through warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Turn both feet to face forward. Hands to the hip crease, little bend in the knees maybe. Push your hips back as you fold forward. Really just kind of falling into that wide leg forward fold. So from here, we're going to keep ourselves in that extension. That back is long, the front is long, everything's long. But if we can, we're going to place the hand straight underneath of our shoulders. And this might actually feel pretty good for some of you here. Now, from this, we're going to take a couple cat-cows. So remember that movement we did at the beginning of class. We're going to do it again, only from this position. You might need a block or a stack of books or something. So once you're in this extended position, you can even be on your fingertips, go ahead and let your belly draw down, lift your chest, lift your hips. And then exhale, round your spine. Inhale, let's lift. Exhale, let's round. One more, inhale, let's lift. Exhale, let's round. And then inhale, come to a neutral spine. Let's go ahead and keep that left hand, or whatever hand this is for you, on the floor. And we're going to lift this right arm straight up to the sky. Big stretch. Rotating from the upper back and from the mid back. Maybe trying not to kind of bend into this, right? Use blocks. That's why we have them. And then exhale, take it down. Press into the hand. Lift right back up again. Big stretch. Right? Not trying to dip into that hip too much. Keep the hips level. Big stretch, reach. And take it all the way down. And then from here, we're working our way over to that left leg. So, all the way to the leg that was in the front from the beginning. Turning the foot, lifting the back heel. Nicely done. Lower your right knee to the floor again. Untuck your toes. Come back into a low lunge. Big stretch. Deep breath. Holding here and breathing. One more breath. Take it all the way back down with an exhale. Press through that left foot, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, push back through your right heel, right hand lands on the floor, left hand comes to the left thigh, or, well, it will eventually, comes to the left thigh, and we're going to rotate the chest, the navel, the hips, and then reach that left arm up to the sky, pushing through your left big toe, push back through your right heel. I don't know if you can see a cat climbing up the window, but it's pretty funny. And then exhale, lower that left hand down. We're going to step back into our plank. Here it is, into our plank. Find your happy plank. Maybe the knees are on the floor, maybe not. Maybe you're going to drop the knees to come down. Ready? We're going to lower. Oops. Lift. Down dog. Big stretch. Lengthen through your spine. Keep reaching. Keep breathing. All right, so looking for this right foot, we're going to take it forward in between our hands. Remember, you can take a step and carry. Boom. You can walk forward and take your time to get there. Nice. Push back through your left heel. Let's lower that left knee down to the ground first. Take a little bit of a lunge. Reach the arms up. So we're back into that low lunge again. And then let's take those hands down. Lift the back knee. Keep that right knee over your ankle. Parallel thigh if possible. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand to your right thigh. Rotate from the navel first. So we're lengthening, reaching, lifting. And then bringing that right arm. Notice your right hip wants to come up on the way. So draw it back down. You know, it's your ship. Control your ship. Push back through your left heel. Don't let it wiggle. One more breath. Exhale, take that right hand down. Beautiful. Then from here, press firmly into the fingertips as you drag this left foot forward. So push into that right foot and carry. Nice. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Big stretch. I'm going to step back so I stop hitting my head on my couch. Then exhale, lower the arms down by your sides. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers behind our back. Bend your knees a little bit here. Roll the arms back. So that little bend in your knees is just to keep you from hyperextending for some of you, and also to keep you pushing into the earth. So you're really grounding through your feet. We have a tendency to just think up, 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 but we don't think down, 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 down. And from here, let's turn to the left. Notice that as you turn to the left, your whole body wants to twist. I want you to keep your hips level. So left hip's going to come forward as you turn to the left. And then take it over to center. Same thing to the other side. Turn to the right. One step now. Move your right hip forward. It's just me and the cha-cha slide in my head. Inhale back to center. Release your arms. Work out those wrists for a moment. Let's go ahead and balance. So I'm going to face you, and you can face me if you aren't already. So looking for balance is a little difficult sometimes, especially when it's rainy out, for those of you who are with us and it's raining. So we're going to go ahead and first find our balance on both of our feet. Both of our feet. So all 5 toes spread. We got the inner and the outer. Little bend in the knees. Shoulders back and down, top of the head's rising. And then we're going to find the weight shifting into the, well, this will be your right leg. And we're going to shift to the right, bend the left knee. Now we're finding our balance so that our one foot's on the ground and one foot, finger, or some toes are on the other floor, whatever I'm saying. And then lift wherever you can. So this is your first balance, right? It doesn't have to be crazier than this, right? You don't have to make this a beautiful pageantry. It's not really pageantry. It's just a balance. The more you focus on breathing and finding where your foot's connected to the floor and how you can keep that connection, the better. Then we'll take it back down. Try it on the other side. You might just be here. I know some of you can hyperextend that knee and just kind of hang out here forever and then just hope that your knees don't get destroyed in the future. But try not to hyperextend here. And then maybe up. Finding that balance. Maybe your arms are out for a little bit of extra help here. Maybe your arms are up. Maybe you've decided to do some kind of weird cha-cha move with it. I don't care. But finding balance on one foot. I have a tendency to just kind of pray through all my poses. And then we step it right back down. Okay, so what if we made it a little bit more complicated? We don't have to. You can just keep practicing on that one foot. Ready? So back into bending our left knee. We lift that knee up. It's about as high as the hip, right? And then we lift it up a little bit higher. And then we take it about as high as the hip again. We're doing this without moving this hip, right? We're trying to keep the hip level. Let's do that 2 more times. Yeah, you're still on one foot. You're still balancing. I'm still staring at this bright light. 1 more. Good. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and keep that knee right in line with the hip. Take your left hand to the inside of your left thigh and just open your knee. I always say open your knee like a barn door, which I realize is probably a little wrong in this situation. So the knee's going to go wherever it goes, right? It might go all the way back. You might not even have some connective tissue here. You're just taking your knee to the back room. Or you might just have a little bit of twisting, hipping issues. Doesn't matter. Come back through center. Take your breaks if you need to, right? This is a long time to stand on one leg. Then take your right hand, place it to the outside of your left knee. Remember, you can have your toes on the floor. And then if you want to, it's up to you. That right arm's going to come back behind you. You can look through your thumb if you want to. Beautiful. Let's come back through and lower that leg. Okay, so we're switching it out. I'm going to run out of battery very shortly. So just so you know, if we stop, this is why. Knee comes up. There's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Knees in line. Open it. Bring it back in. Take it to a twist. Bring it back in. And we lost you. Okay. Hands come together. Oh, good. I feel like we're still live. It's just that my laptop died. That makes me happy. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Good, we're still alive, yay! Exhale, forward fold. Wrists through your feet, come all the way up again. Big stretch. Interlace your fingers, turn the hands inside out, push up. Exhale, take it to the left or right or whatever direction this is for you. I am not the one to teach your children left and right. Inhale to center. I barely know it myself. Inhale back to center. Release your arms. And then let's go ahead and transition all the way down to the floor. So however you feel like coming down to the ground is fine. I like to come down with a little bit of a plop flourishy type of thing. So I'm going to bend my knees, lift my heels, and start to come down into a toe stand. If you're like, no, Nicole, I do not want to do that, then don't do it. It's not a big deal. Hi, Diesel. And then from this position, I'm going to go ahead and come into seated. So whatever way works for you. I'm probably going to make this look like a flop, but that's okay. We're going to sit back and plop. Is plop a good word for that? I think it is. Go ahead and take it into a variation of boat. You might grab behind your thighs here. That's a fun thing to do. Shoulders back, keeping the spine lifted, keeping the top of the head lifted, keeping the core engaged, because what's the point of doing this if you don't work your core? And then from here, you might want to just bring the arms by the legs. You can wiggle your toes, be grateful for your feet. That's what my friend Ginger always says. And then from here, we're going to cross legs, whatever cross works for you in whatever direction you want to cross. So once you're down and you're sitting in a cross leg position, you are welcome to adjust with a blanket. So that blanket might come underneath of your buttocks. Why? Because it's more comfortable. Because it lifts your hips. Because your knees are able to roll to the floor easier. Because you won't round as much. Whatever reasoning you might have, this is the blanket usage. So from here, sitting up nice and tall, shoulder blades back and down. Let's go ahead and lean to the left. So the left hand's going to come to the floor. We're going to reach this right arm up. So again, we're just moving through these side leans. And we're going to stretch that right arm by right ear and rotate the chest just a little bit and draw that left shoulder down. It's easier to just bring that shoulder into your ear and wonder what's happening. But instead, draw that shoulder down. Then we'll come right back up. We'll slide to the right. It really does sound like the cha-cha slide. Roll that right shoulder down, reach through that left arm. Breathe. I know it's hard sometimes. And then come right back up again. And then from here, look down at your feet. See which leg is forward and switch. This is going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable. That's okay though. Little discomfort's okay as long as it's not pain. So if you're feeling any pain in your knees, put something under your knees. It helps. Or take more height under your buttocks. That helps as well. And then from here, we're going to take a forward fold. So just a little one. Right? Maybe you're going to stay on your elbows. That's okay. Maybe you think you can come down a little bit more. Whatever feels good for you is okay. And then nice and slow, press through your hands, walk your hands in. Perfect. Let's take a tiny little twist. So right hand to opposite knee. Right hand to your left knee. So we're going to twist by placing the left hand directly behind us and rotate. And breathe. Right? Just focus on breathing. It's okay to breathe. Now we're going to reverse. Take it to the other side. Here we go. Left hand to the right knee. And breathe. Or stare lovingly at your dog who's eye level. I love you. And then unrotate or irrotate or rotate less. Whatever the word is. And then from here, we're going to lift our butt up. Move that blanket. You can keep it to the side if you need to. We're gonna lay down onto our backs. Pull your knees in, rest on your back. So, from here, let's roll the head from side to side. We're starting to wind down here in our practice. No big deal. Let's go ahead and place those feet onto the floor, so no blankets under the head yet, guys, for those of you who use them. We're going to go ahead and lift into a bridge. And your bridge, we're going to go into the simple bridge first. So a nice way to get into simple bridge is to have your elbows on the floor and your fingertips facing the ceiling. Think like a Ken doll or a Barbie doll or a robot, whatever works best for you. Keep the knees over your hips. For those of you who have a splaying issue, you can always put a block between your knees. We're going to push down through the elbows to keep our shoulders tucked. And then we're going to lift the hips. And this isn't a Jane Fonda workout. You don't have to pump here. Instead, we're going to press through those feet, lift through the front of the thighs, lift through the hip points here. And then from this position, not overarch the back, but instead let the chest rotate towards the chin, getting the neck nice and long. You can let the arms rest down by your sides. If you splay, pull it back in line, guys. Get those legs in line. Grab hold of the bottom of your mat. Pull your mat apart, and that's going to shove those shoulders under you a little bit more. And we're going to push a little bit further, and we're going to keep those knees in line. None of the wonkies. And we'll be here for 3 big deep breaths. 2. 1. Beautiful. Let's lower it down. Take it out nice and slow. Let the belly rest. Let the arms rest. Let the shoulders untuck. And then take your feet about mat distance apart. We're going to move both of our knees to the left. So to the left, to the left. Okay, so it's no longer the Cha-Cha Slide, but a Beyonce song. To the left, to the left. And then we're going to go all the way to the right. And just let those legs hang out in the ether if they need to, or if you want to put something under them, you can. Then all the way back to center. And this time as you move to your left, you might want to try that little hook issue. So as you move to the left foot might come up. It might rest on the outside of your right thigh. And just let the legs come down. So some of us, those knees are going to come right down to the ground. Good for you. I'm not quite sure anatomically how you pulled that off, but I'm glad to see it. But I'd like you to not lift your right buttock too far off the ground to get into this. So there's a stretch, and then there's just trying to accomplish insanity. Don't worry about the accomplishing of insanity. We do it every day. Instead, just give yourself this nice stretch in the side leg. All the way into that side glute maybe. Then maybe we unhinge, unhook. If that ever hurts your knees, do not do it. Does not need to be done. The knees are important. Oops. And then we'll go ahead and take that right leg and lift it. Place it on the outside of the left thigh. Both knees kind of fall towards the earth here. So we're not trying to overly open here, right? My butt's still slightly towards the earth. You can adjust the tension here, or the stretch here, by bringing the left leg in closer, left foot in closer. Getting that nice stretch wherever it needs to go, right? Wherever it needs to go. Maybe you even feel it up into your oblique. And then back into center. And then from here, let's go ahead and readjust the tailbone. So a little tuck and release and rocking around. And then let your knees roll towards each other. So that's going to take some of the pressure off the lower back. And as we do, we put a lot of pressure on our lower backs while we're quarantined in our house and binge watching Netflix. Nah, I'm sure none of you are doing that. And if you are, more power to you. You work hard. And then come back into center. Walk your feet together. Open your knees. So from here, my knees do not touch the floor because hi Puffy, because I have tight hips for some reason. so maybe it's just today. Maybe it'll be like this forever, who knows? But I'm gonna put something underneath of my knees or under my thighs so that they're not just hanging out into the ether, because I don't want my hips to just pull on my groin to the point that they just like keep jamming themselves out. Instead, I want to be supported here. That way I can place my hands on my belly, right on top of my abdomen, right on top of my belly button, and I can feel the rise and fall in my belly. And I don't have to worry about what's going on in my knees. Now this is a good time to put the blanket under your head for those of you who like blanket time. Or a pillow. And what we want to do here is feel the rhythm of breath all the way down into our navel, so that when we inhale, the belly expands, and then when we exhale, the belly comes down. It doesn't have to be a big movement. For those of you who have time around babies and puppies and animals, you can see that even their abdomens rise and fall as they breathe. Remember, you're breathing using the full diaphragm. Your lungs are actually really large anyway, so they're not just located up here, right? They're not just located right here. They're a nice size. You know, your ribs are protecting them. So while you breathe, you can feel that expansion into the lungs. You can breathe into the full lungs, not this hyperventilating, freaked out breath here, or this non-existent breath just somewhere deep down. But you can really feel the breath. And for those of you with kids doing this with me, again, hi kids, go ahead and count this down from 10. So we're going to do 10 really deep breaths. We're going to try and fill the whole body. We're not going to breathe through our mouths. We're going to breathe through our nose. So we're going to inhale, feel the belly, ribs, chest expand, and then exhale, feel the chest drop, ribs relax, belly button to the spine. So that's 1. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Let's do 5 more together. Here we go. Inhale, 1. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, 2. Exhale through the nose. My breath gets stuck in my chest. See if you can tell where your breath gets stuck. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. Last one. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. And then from here, with that last exhalation, let's go ahead and pull our knees together. You might need to help them come together. You might have already pulled your knees together while you were breathing. Move your blocks out of the way. You're going to go ahead and pull those knees towards your chest, so one at a time or both. And then we're going to rock our legs from side to side one last time, but this time just kind of shifting. You can hold your shins and your thighs. Relaxing your lower back. And then if you want to take one more twist, a deeper twist that you like, go ahead and do so. And if not, then go ahead and extend one leg and then the other. Untuck your pelvis, relax your tail, relax your clothes. Well, if you don't really relax your clothes, but you can relax in your clothes. Let the shoulders come underneath of you. Let the feet splay apart. Try not to be touching anything or too involved with anything at the moment, and let your eyes close. There's a natural curve in that lower back. Don't hyperextend here. Don't overdo it. Let yourself feel supported. If it hurts your lower back, place something under your knees. And then just go back to those deep breaths again. Maybe you would like to count your breaths down from 20 or 30. Maybe you just want to let your breath settle. If you need something to keep your mind occupied, as you inhale, say, inhaling, I am inhaling. And as you exhale, say to yourself, exhaling, I am exhaling. Inhaling, I am inhaling. Exhaling, I am exhaling. And maybe one or two more breaths, just like this. Or maybe you'd like to just lay here for a little bit longer. It doesn't matter. You don't have to get up when I get up. I just have to eventually turn off this live feed so that I can get on with my life without everybody watching me. So then to come out of this, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can pull your knees in towards your chest. Now we're going to roll to the right. I'm rolling to my left, but you can roll to your right. And then once you roll into the fetal position on your right, you can let your body just rest. Kind of feel what that signifies to your body. That last time that you were in the fetal position, you were probably being comforted in your mama's womb. And then just like every class, we're always reborn at the end. You press through your left hand and come all the way up. And just take a seat. Roll your shoulders back and sit tall. Just give yourself maybe a couple more breaths, maybe even a couple more inhaling, I am inhaling. Exhaling, I am exhaling. And one last breath like this. And then we'll bring the hands together in front of our heart, and I will say namaste, and you are welcome to say it back if it is part of your practice. But if it is not something that you say, then I just wish you a wonderful Monday. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see me teach in the future. Be well, loves. Be well.